Sam makes a trip back to NHOU to visit with Joe DuPont. Joe walks us through the NHOU facility and gives us a behind-the-scenes look at how they test their products. Each batch of their product is thoroughly tested to ensure it lives up to the NHOU standards.
Joe, I'm loving this lab. Looks like you have a lot of fun here. And this is where you perfect your product and compare it to everybody else's, correct?
There's research and development done here, but there's a lot of testing done here. So what I want to know is when that product comes in, I test every batch. I want to test the viscosity, I want to test the sag, I want to test the stability. I want to know that before that product leaves, goes out to my dealers or out to the consumer, that it lives up to the standards that we set.
Now tell me about this cabinet right here.
So this cabinet allows us to, part of the testing is to confirm the performance, okay? So we can test viscosity, sag, and everything there, but performance is equally as important. So this will verify that the product is performing properly, which tells me it was manufactured properly. But on the other hand, it also gives me insight into competition.
Absolutely.
Which I love, by the way. I really do. As long as they put a good product that actually helps the industry, I'm okay with it. There are a few that don't, and I'm really upset that they would actually put something out that would hurt the industry as a whole. But this allows me to know where we stand with competition as well as to check the performance. This is a B117 testing cabinet. It's known worldwide as the standard for testing corrosion chips.
Very cool. You got some chips in there, shows us exactly what's going on. Right here, you talked about viscosity. What do you exactly do here?
So viscosity is measured in a couple of different ways. And in particular, Brookfield viscometer measures surface tension, okay, resistance on surface tension. So we would take spindles, depending on the thickness, and we would put a spindle on there, put the product in, and then we would measure it in centipoids. So basically a number 5 spindle. With our oil, we do at 100 RPMs, we're looking for around 2,550 centipoids.
You know what's good about this is that Joe does all of his testing here. He knows what's going on with this product. He's got all the equipment to do it right, stay consistent, compare it to others, and really put out a good product out there. And this is coming from Joe himself, who actually created the product. And that's what makes NHOU separate from everybody else and gives them the quality that they actually have.
Yeah, the product was created in part by me, but it was also through my chemists in a lab.
You got some good talent in your corner.
They do. Most of these guys have been in the automotive chemical coatings industry for over 40 years. We try to pick a great tool manufacturer, but the bottom line is these guys don't always play fair. If they can actually reduce the cost of manufacturing the product and you don't know about it, then they will. So what we do is when it comes in here, we actually will check the viscosity, we'll check the sag, I can check for stability, ultimately we can check for performance. Once it goes through this test, then we know it's ready to go out onto the floor.
Explain sag. People know what viscosity is, but
sag is, so it would be, whether it's going to drip or not, okay? So we would take some of the material, we'd run it across this, put it vertically, and if it holds its position, then at that millimeter thickness, then we know we've achieved our viscosity and our sag resistance. If it drips like this one did, now this was actually a batch that we caught that had some issues. I mean, you can see it. It didn't make it to my customer's vehicle, it didn't make it to my dealers, okay? So we caught it first. And they do their own testing, but there's nothing, I think built-in redundancies are important.
Absolutely. Just like anything else, there's things that happen in manufacturing that can go wrong. And if Joe didn't do his own quality control, just like that example right there, can you imagine if that goes out, it's inconsistent, makes the product look bad, makes Joe look bad. That's why he's got this cool little lab at home. Not only does it look like a stress reliever, but it looks like he's actually making sure NHOU product stays quality control and consistent for you guys at home.